And it came to pass in the first week, in the 44th Jubilee, in the second year, that is, the year in which Avram died, that Yitzchak and Ishmael came from the well of the oath to celebrate the feast of Shavuot, that is, the feast of the first fruits of the harvest to Abraham, their father. And Avram rejoiced because his 2 sons had come. For Yitzchak had many possessions in Beersheba, and Yitzchak was wont to go and see his possessions and to return to his father. And in those days Ishmael came to see his father, and they both came together. And Yitzchak offered a sacrifice for an ascending smoke offering, and presented it on the altar of his father, which he had made in Chevron. And he offered a thank offering, and made a feast of joy before Ishmael, his brother, and Rivkah made new cakes from the new grain, and gave them to Yaakov, her son, to take them to Abraham, his father, from the first fruits of the land, that he might eat and bless the Creator of all things before he died. And Yitzchak too sent by the hand of Yaakov to Abraham a best thank offering, that he might eat and drink. And he ate and drank, and blessed El Elyon, who has created heaven and earth, who has made all the fat of things of the earth, and given them to the children of men, that they might eat and drink and bless their Creator. And now I give thanks unto you, my Elohim, because you have caused me to see this day. Behold, I am 163 years, an old man and full of days, and all my days have been unto me peace. The sword of the adversary has not overcome me, and all that you have given me, and my children all the days of my life unto this day. My Elohim, may your mercy and your peace be upon your servant, and upon the seed of his sons, that they may be to you a chosen nation, and an inheritance from amongst all the nations of the earth, from henceforth unto all the days of the generations of the earth, unto all the ages. And he called Yaakov and said, My son Yaakov, may the Elohim of all bless you and strengthen you to do righteousness and his will before him, and may he choose you and your seed, that you may become a people for his inheritance, according to his will always. And do you, my son Yaakov, draw near and kiss me. And he drew near and kissed him, and he said, Blessed be my son Yaakov, and all the sons of El Elyon, unto all the ages. May Elohim give unto you a seed of righteousness, and some of your sons may he sanctify in the midst of the whole earth. May nations serve you, and all the nations bow themselves before your seed. Be strong in the presence of men, and exercise authority over all the seed of Sheth. Then your ways and the ways of your sons will be justified, so that they shall become a holy nation. May El Elyon give you all the blessings wherewith he has blessed me, and wherewith he blessed Noah and Adam. May they rest on the sacred head of your seed, from generation to generation forever. And may he cleanse you from all unrighteousness and impurity, that you may be forgiven all the transgressions which you have committed ignorantly. And may he strengthen you and bless you, and may you inherit the whole earth, and may he renew his covenant with you, that you may be to him a nation for his inheritance, for all the ages, that he may be to you and to your seed, an Elohim in truth and righteousness throughout all the days of the earth. And do you, my son Yaakov, remember my words, and observe the commandments of Abraham, your father. Separate yourself from the nations, and eat not with them, and do not according to their works, and become not their associate. For their works are unclean, and all their ways are a pollution, and an abomination, and uncleanness. They offer sacrifices to the dead, and they worship evil ruachot, and they eat over the graves, and all their works are vanity and nothingness. They have no heart to understand, and their eyes do not see what their works are, and how they err in saying to a piece of wood, you are my Elohim, and to a stone, you are my Adonai, and you are my deliverer. And they have no heart. And as for you, my son, Yaakov, may El Elyon help you, and the Elohim of heaven bless you, and remove from their uncleanness, and from all their error. Be you ware, my son Yaakov, of taking a woman from any seed of the daughters of Canaan, for all his seed is to be rooted out of the earth. For owing to the transgressions of Shechem, Canaan erred, and all his seed shall be destroyed from off the earth, and all the remnant thereof, and none springing from him shall be saved on the day of judgment. And as for all the worshippers of idols and the profane, there shall be no hope for them in the land of the living, and there shall be no remembrance of them on the earth. For they shall descend into Sheol, and into the place of condemnation they shall go. As the children of Sedom were taken away from the earth, so will all those who worship idols be taken away. Fear not, my son Yaakov, and be not dismayed, O son of Abraham. May El Elyon guard you from destruction, and from all the paths of error may he deliver you. This house I have built for myself, that I may put my name upon it in the earth. It is given to you and to your seed forever, and it will be named the house of Abraham. It is given to you and to your seed forever. For you will build my house and establish my name before Elohim forever. Your seed and your name will stand throughout all generations of the earth. And he ceased commanding him and blessing him, and the two lay together on one bed, and Yaakov slept in the bosom of Abraham, his father's father, and he kissed him 7 times, and his affection and his heart rejoiced over him. And he blessed him with all his heart, and said, El Elyon, the Elohim of all, and creator of all, who brought me forth from Ur of the Kasdim, that he might give me this land to inherit it forever, that I may establish a holy seed. Blessed be El Elyon forever. And he blessed Yaakov and said, my son, over whom with all my heart and my affection I rejoice, may your grace and your mercy be lifted up upon him and upon his seed always. And do not forsake him, nor set him at naught from henceforth unto the days of eternity. And may your eyes be opened upon him and upon his seed, that you may guard him and bless him, and may sanctify him as a nation for your inheritance. And bless him with all your blessings from henceforth unto all the days of eternity, and renew your covenant and your grace with him and with his seed, according to all your good pleasure, unto all the generations of the earth. And he placed 2 fingers of Yaakov on his eyes, and he blessed the Elohim of Elohim. And he covered his face, and stretched out his feet, and slept the sleep of eternity. And he was gathered to his fathers. And notwithstanding all this, Yaakov was lying in his bosom, and knew not that Abraham, his father's father, was dead. And Yaakov awoke from his sleep, and behold, Abraham was cold as ice. And he said, Father, Father! But there was none that spoke, and he knew that he was dead. And he arose from his bosom, and ran and told Rivkah his mother. And Rivkah went to Yitzchak in the night, and told him. And they went together, and Yaakov with them. And a lamp was in his hand. And when they had gone in, they found Abraham lying dead. And Yitzchak fell on the face of his father and wept and kissed him. And the voices were heard in the house of Abraham. And Ishmael, his son, arose and went to Abraham his father and wept over Abraham his father, he and all the house of Abraham. And they wept with a great weeping. And his sons Yitzchak and Ishmael buried him in the double cave near Sarah his woman, and they wept for him 40 days, all the men of his house, and Yitzchak and Ishmael, and all their sons, and all the sons of Keturah in their places. And the days of weeping for Abraham were ended. And he lived there 3 jubilees and 4 weeks of years, 175 years, and completed the days of his life, being old and full of days. For the days of the forefathers of their life were 19 jubilees, and after the flood they began to grow less than 19 jubilees, and to decrease in jubilees, and to grow old quickly, and to be full of their days by reason of manifold tribulation and the wickedness of their ways, with the exception of Abraham. For Abraham was perfect in all his deeds with Yahweh, and well-pleasing in righteousness all the days of his life. And behold, he did not complete 4 jubilees in his life, when he had grown old by reason of the wickedness, and was full of his days. And all the generations which shall arise from this time until the day of the great judgment shall grow old quickly, before they complete 2 jubilees, and their knowledge shall forsake them by reason of their old age, and all their knowledge shall vanish away. And in those days, if a man live a jubilee and a half of years, they shall say regarding him, he has lived long, and the greater part of his days are pain and sorrow and tribulation, and there is no peace. For calamity follows on calamity, and wound on wound, and tribulation on tribulation, and evil report on evil report, and illness on illness, and all evil judgments such as these, one with another, illness and overthrow, and snow and frost and ice, and fever and chills and torpor, and famine and death, and sword and captivity, and all kinds of calamities and pains. And all these shall come on an evil generation, which transgresses on the earth. Their works are uncleanness and fornication and pollution and abominations. Then they shall say, the days of our forefathers were many, even unto 1,000 years, and were good. But behold, the days of our life, if a man has lived many, are 80 years and 10, and if he is strong, 80 years, and those evil, and there is no peace in the days of this evil generation. And in that generation the sons shall convict their fathers and their elders of sin and unrighteousness, and of the words of their mouth, and the great wickedness which they perpetrate, and concerning their forsaking the covenant which Yahweh made between them and him, that they should observe and do all his commandments, and his ordinances, and all his Torah. without departing either to the right hand or to the left. For all have done evil, and every mouth speaks iniquity, and all their works are an uncleanness and an abomination, and all their ways are pollution, uncleanness, and destruction. Behold, the earth shall be destroyed on account of all their works, and there shall be no seed of the vine, and no oil, for their works are altogether faithless, and they shall all perish together, beasts and cattle and birds, and all the fish of the sea, on account of the children of men. And they shall strive one with another, the young with the old with the young, the poor with the rich, the lowly with the great, and the beggar with the prince, on account of the Torah and the covenant. For they have forgotten commandment and covenant and feasts and months and Sabbaths and jubilees and all judgments. And they shall stand swords and war to turn them back into the way. But they shall not return until much blood has been shed on the earth, one by another. And those who have escaped shall not return from their wickedness to the way of righteousness, but they shall all exalt themselves to deceit and wealth, that they may each take all that is his neighbor's. And they shall name the great name, but not in truth and not in righteousness. And they shall defile the Holy of Holies with their uncleanness and the corruption of their pollution. And a great punishment shall befall the deeds of this generation from Yahweh. And he will give them over to the sword, and to the judgment, and to captivity, and to be plundered and devoured. And he will wake up against them the sinners of the other nations, who have neither mercy nor compassion, and who shall respect the person of none, neither old nor young, nor anyone, for they are more wicked and strong to do evil than all the children of men. And they shall use violence against Yasharel, and transgression against Yaakov, and much blood shall be shed upon the earth, and there shall be none to gather, and none to bury. In those days they shall cry aloud, and call and pray, that they may be saved from the hand of sinners, the other nations, but none shall be saved. And the heads of the children shall be white with gray hair, and a child of 3 weeks shall appear old like a man of 100 years. And their stature shall be destroyed by tribulation and oppression. And in those days the children shall begin to study the Torah, and to seek the commandments, and to return to the path of righteousness. And the days shall begin to grow many and increase amongst those children of men, till their days draw nigh to 1,000 years, and to a great number of years than before was the number of days. And there shall be no old man, nor one who is satisfied with his days, for all shall be as children and youths. And all their days they shall complete and live in peace and in joy. And there shall be no Satan, nor any evil destroyer, for all their days shall be days of blessing and healing. And at that time Yahweh will heal his servants, and they shall rise up and see great peace, and drive out their adversaries. And the righteous shall see and be thankful, and rejoice with joy forever and ever, and shall see all their judgments and all their curses on their enemies. And their bones shall rest in the earth, and their ruachot shall have much joy, and they shall know that it is Yahweh who executes judgment and shows mercy to hundreds and thousands, and to all that love him. And do you, Moshe, write down these words, for thus are they written, and they record them on the heavenly tablets for a testimony for the generations forever. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that Yahweh blessed Yitzchak his son, and he arose from Chevron and went and dwelt at the well of the vision in the first year of the 3rd week of this Jubilee, 7 years. And in the first year, the 4th week, a famine began in the land, besides the first famine, which had been in the days of Abraham. And Yaakov sowed lentil pottage, and Esau came from the field hungry. And he said to Yaakov his brother, "Give me of this red pottage." And Yaakov said to him, "Sell to me your primogeniture, this birthright, and I will give you bread, and also some of this lentil pottage." And Esau said in his heart, "I shall die. Of what profit to me is this birthright?" And he said to Yaakov, "I give it to you." And Yaakov said, "Swear to me this day." And he swore unto him. And Yaakov gave his brother Esau bread and pottage, and he ate till he was satisfied. And Esau despised his birthright. For this reason was Esau's name called Edom, on account of the red pottage which Yaakov gave him for his birthright. And Yaakov became the elder, and Esau was brought down from his dignity. And the famine was over the land, and Yitzchak departed to go down into Mitzrayim in the 2nd year of this week, and went to the king of the Pelethiim, to Gerar, unto Abimelech. And Yahweh appeared unto him and said unto him, "Go not down into Mitzrayim, dwell in the land that I shall tell you of, and sojourn in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For to you and to your seed I will give you all this land, and I will establish my oath which I swore unto Abraham your father, and I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and will give unto your seed all this land. And in your seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because your father obeyed my voice, and kept my charge and my commandments, and my Torah, and my ordinances, and my covenant. And now obey my voice, and dwell in this land." And he dwelt in Gerar 3 weeks of years. And Abimelech charged concerning him, and concerning all that was his, saying, "Any man that shall touch him, or anything that is his, shall surely die." And Yitzchak waxed strong among the Pelethiim, and he got many possessions, oxen and sheep and camels and asses, and a great household. And he sowed in the land of the Pelethiim, and brought in 100-fold. And Yitzchak became exceedingly great, and the Pelethiim envied him. Now all the wells which the servants of Abraham had dug during the life of Abraham, the Pelethiim had stopped them after the death of Abraham, and filled them with earth. And Abimelech said unto Yitzchak, "Go from us, for you are much mightier than we." And Yitzchak departed thence in the 1st year of the 7th week, and so sojourned in the valley of Gerar. And they dug again the wells of water, which the servants of Abraham his father had dug, and which the Pelethiim had closed after the death of Abraham his father. And he called their names as Abraham his father had named them. And the servants of Yitzchak dug a well in the valley, and found living water. And the shepherds of Gerar strove with the shepherds of Yitzchak, saying, "The water is ours." And Yitzchak called the name of the well Perversity, because they had been perverse with us. And they dug a 2nd well, and they strove also for that. And he called its name Enmity. And he arose from thence, and they dug another well, and for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Room. And Yitzchak said, Now Yahweh has made room for us, and we have increase in this land. And he went up from thence to the well of the earth in the first year, the first week, in the 44th Jubilee. And Yahweh appeared to him that night on the new moon of the first month, and said unto him, I am the Elohim of Abraham your father. Fear not, for I am surely with you, and shall bless you, and shall surely multiply your seed as the sand of the earth, for the sake of Abraham my servant. And he built an altar there, which Abraham his father had first built. And he called upon the name of Yahweh, and he offered sacrifice to the Elohim of Abraham his father. And they dug a well, and they found living water. And the servants of Yitzchak dug another well, and did not find water. And they went and told Yitzchak that they had not found water. And Yitzchak said, I have sworn this day to the Philistine, and this thing has been announced to us. And he called the name of that place the Well of the Earth. For there he had sworn to Abimelech, and Ashudzak, his friend, and Pichol, the perfect Or, his host. And Yitzchak knew that day that under constraint he had sworn to them to make peace with them. And Yitzchak on that day cursed the Philistine and said, Cursed be the Philistine unto the day of wrath and indignation from the midst of all nations. May Elohim make them a derision and a curse, and an object of wrath and indignation in the hands of sinners, the other nations, and in the hands of the Kittim. And whosoever escapes the sword of the enemy and the Kittim, may the righteous nation root out in judgment from under heaven, for they shall be the enemies and the foes of my children throughout their generations upon the earth. And no remnant shall be left to them, nor one that shall be saved on the day of the wrath of judgment. For destruction and rooting out and expulsion from the earth is the whole seed of the Philistine reserved, and there shall no longer be left for these Kafturim a name or a seed on the earth. For though he ascend unto heaven, thence shall he be brought down, and though he make himself strong on the earth, thence shall be he dragged forth. And though he hide himself among the nations, even from thence shall he be rooted out. And though he descend into Sheol, there also shall his condemnation be great, and there also he shall have no peace. And if he go into captivity by the hands of those that seek his life, shall they slay him on the way, and neither name nor seed shall be left to him on all the earth, for into eternal malediction shall he depart. And thus it is written and engraved concerning him on the heavenly tablets, to do unto him on the day of judgment, so that he may be rooted out of the earth. And in the second year of this week in this Jubilee, Rivkah called Yaakov her son, and spoke unto him, saying, My son, do not take you a woman of the daughters of Canaan, as Esau your brother, who took him 2 women of the daughters of Canaan, and they have embittered my soul with all their unclean deeds. For all their deeds are fornication and lust, and there is no righteousness with them, for their deeds are evil. And I, my son, love you exceedingly, and my heart and my affection bless you every hour of the day and watch of the night. And now, my son, hearken to my voice, and do the will of your mother, and do not take you a woman of the daughters of this land, but only of the house of my father and of my father's kindred. You shall take a woman of the house of my father, and Elyon will bless you, and your children shall be a righteous generation and a holy seed. And then spoke Yaakov to Rivkah his mother, and said unto her, Behold, mother, I am 9 weeks of years old, and I neither now or know, nor have I touched any woman, nor have I betrothed myself to any, nor even think of taking me a woman of the daughters of Canaan. For I remember, mother, the words of Abraham our father, for he commanded me not to take a woman of the daughters of Canaan, but to take me a woman from the seed of my father's house and from my kindred. I have heard before that daughters have been born to Lavan, your brother, and I have set my heart on them to take a woman from amongst them. And for this reason I have guarded myself in my ruach against sinning or being corrupted in all my ways throughout all the days of my life. For with regard to lust and fornication, Abraham, my father, gave me many commands. And despite that he has commanded me, these 22 years my brother has striven with me and spoken frequently to me and said, My brother, take to be your woman a sister of my 2 women. But I refuse to do as he has done. I swear before you, mother, that all the days of my life I will not take to me a woman from the daughters of the seed of Canaan, and I will not act wickedly as my brother has done. Fear not, mother. Be assured that I shall do your will and walk in uprightness and not corrupt my ways forever. And thereupon she lifted up her face to heaven and extended the fingers of her hands and opened her mouth and blessed El Elyon, who had created the heavens and the earth. And she gave him thanks and praise. And she said, Blessed be Yahweh Elohim, and may his holy name be blessed forever and ever. Who has given me Yaakov as a pure son and as a holy seed? For he is yours, and yours shall his seed be continually and throughout all the generations forevermore. Bless him, O Yahweh, and place in my mouth the blessings of righteousness, that I may bless him. And at that hour, when the Ruach Tzedek descended into her mouth, she placed both her hands on the head of Yaakov and said, Blessed are you, Yahweh of righteousness, and Elohim of the ages, and may he bless you beyond all the generations of men. May he give you, my son, the path of righteousness, and reveal righteousness to your seed. And may he make your sons many during your life, and may they arise according to the number of the months of the year. And may their sons become many and great beyond the stars of heaven, and their numbers be more than the sand of the sea. And may he give them this goodly land, as he said he would give it to Abraham and to his seed after him always. And may they hold it as a possession forever. And may I see, born unto you, my son, blessed children during my life, and a blessed and holy seed may all your seed be. And as you have refreshed your mother's ruach during her life, the womb of her that bore you blesses you thus. My affection and my breasts bless you, and my mouth and my tongue praise you greatly. Increase and spread over the earth, and may your seed be perfect in the joy of heaven and earth forever. And may your seed rejoice, and on the great day of peace, may it have peace. and may your name and your seed endure to all the ages, and may El Elyon be their Elohim, and may the Elohim of righteousness tabernacle with them, and by them may his sanctuary be built unto all the ages. Blessed be he that blesses you, and all flesh that curses you falsely, may it be cursed. And she kissed him and said to him, May Yahweh of the world love you as the heart of your mother, and her affection rejoice in you and bless you. And she ceased from blessing. And in the 7th year of this week, Yitzchak called Esau, his elder son, and said unto him, I am old, my son, and behold, my eyes are dim in seeing, and I know not the day of my death. And now, take your hunting weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out into the field, and hunt, and catch me venison, my son, and make me savory meat, such as my soul loves, and bring it to me, that I may eat, and that my soul may bless you before I die. But Rivkah heard Yitzchak speaking to Esau, and Esau went forth early to the field to hunt, and to catch, and bring home to his father. And Rivkah called Yaakov her son, and said unto him, Behold, I heard Yitzchak, your father, speak unto Esau your brother, saying, Hunt for me, and make me savory meat, and bring it to me, that I may eat and bless you before Yahweh, before I die. And now, my son, obey my voice in that which I command you. Go to your flock, and fetch me 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for your father, such as he loves. And you shall bring it to your father, that he may eat and bless you before Yahweh, before he die, that you may be blessed. And Yaakov said to Rivkah his mother, Mother, I shall not withhold anything which my father would eat, and which would please him. Only I fear, my mother, that he will recognize my voice and wish to touch me. And you know that I am smooth, and Esau, my brother, is hairy, and I shall appear before his eyes as an evildoer, and shall do a deed which he has not commanded me. And he will be wroth with me, and I shall bring upon myself a curse and not a blessing. And Rivkah his mother said unto him, Upon me be your curse, my son. Only obey my voice now. And Yaakov obeyed the voice of Rivkah his mother, and went and fetched 2 good and fat kids of the goats, and brought them to his mother, and his mother made them savory meat, such as he loved. And Rivkah took the goodly raiment of Esau, her elder son, which was with her in the house, and she clothed Yaakov, her younger son, with them. And she put the skins of the kids upon his hands and on the exposed parts of his neck. And she gave the meat and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Yaakov. And Yaakov went into his father and said, I am your son. I have done according as you bade me. Arise and sit and eat of that which I have caught, father, that your soul may bless me. And Yitzchak said to his son, How have you found so quickly, my son? And Yaakov said, Because Yahweh Eloheka has caused me to find. And Yitzchak said unto him, Come near, that I may feel you, my son, if you are my son Esau or not. And Yaakov went near to Yitzchak his father, and he felt him and said, The voice is Yaakov's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because it was a dispensation from heaven to remove his power of perception. And Yitzchak discerned not, for his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's. so that he blessed him. And he said, Are you my son Esau? And he said, I am your son. And he said, Bring near to me that I may eat of that which you have caught, my son, that my soul may bless you. And he brought near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And Yitzchak his father said unto him, Come near and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelt the smell of his raiment. And he blessed him and said, Behold, the smell of my son is as the smell of a full field, which Yahweh has blessed. And may Yahweh give you the dew of heaven, and of the dew of the earth, and plenty of grain and oil. Let nations serve you, and peoples bow down to you. Be Givir over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. And may all the blessings wherewith Yahweh has blessed me, and blessed Abraham my father, be imparted to you, and to your seed forever. Cursed be he that curses you, and blessed be he that blesses you. And it came to pass, as soon as Yitzchak had made an end of blessing his son Yaakov, and Yaakov had gone from Yitzchak his father, he hid himself, and Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also made savory meat, and brought it to his father, and said to his father, Let my father arise and eat of my venison, that your soul may bless me. And Yitzchak his father said unto him, Who are you? And he said unto him, I am your firstborn, your son Esau. I have done as you commanded me. And Yitzchak was very greatly astonished, and said, Who is he that is hunted and caught and brought it to me, and I have eaten of all before you came, and have blessed him? And he shall be blessed, and all his seed forever. And it came to pass, when Esau heard the words of his father Yitzchak, that he cried with an exceeding great and bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, father. And he said unto him, Your brother came with guile, and has taken away your blessing. And he said, Now I know why his name is named Yaakov. Behold, he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now he has taken away my blessing. And he said, Have you not reserved a blessing for me, father? And Yitzchak answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him your Givir, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with plenty of grain and wine and oil have I strengthened him. And what now shall I do for you, my son? And Esau said to Yitzchak his father, Have you but one blessing, O father? Bless me, even me also, father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Yitzchak answered and said unto him, Behold, far from the dew of the earth shall be your dwelling, and far from the dew of heaven from above. And by your sword will you live, and you will serve your brother. And it shall come to pass, when you become great, and do shake his yoke from off your neck, you shall sin a complete sin unto death, and your seed shall be rooted out from under heaven. And Esau kept threatening Yaakov because of the blessing wherewith his father had blessed him. And he said, In his heart, may the days of mourning for my father now come, so that I may slay my brother Yaakov. And the words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rivkah in a dream. And Rivkah sent and called Yaakov, her youngest son, and said unto him, Behold, Esau, your brother will take vengeance on you, so as to kill you. Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise and flee you to Lavan, my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days until your brother's anger turns away, and he remove his anger from you, and forget all that you have done. Then I will send and fetch you from thence. And Yaakov said, I am not afraid. If he wishes to kill me, I will kill him. But she said unto him, let me not be bereft of both my sons on one day. And Yaakov said to Rivkah his mother, behold, you know that my father has become old, and does not see because his eyes are dull. And if I leave him, it will be evil in his eyes, because I leave him and go away from you. And my father will be angry and will curse me. I will not go. When he sends me, then only will I go. And Rivkah said to Yaakov, I will go in and speak to him, and he will send you away. And Rivkah went in and said to Yitzchak, I loathe my life because of the two daughters of Sheth, whom Esau has taken as woman. And if Yaakov take a woman from among the daughters of the land, such as these, for what purpose do I further live? For the daughters of Canaan are evil. And Yitzchak called Yaakov and blessed him, and admonished him, and said unto him, do not take you a woman of any of the daughters of Canaan. Arise and go to Aram Naharaim, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take you a woman from thence of the daughters of Lavan, your mother's brother. And El Shaddai bless you and increase and multiply you, that you may become a company of nations, and give you the blessings of my father Abraham, to you and to your seed after you, that you may inherit the land of your sojournings, and all the lands which Elohim gave to Abraham. Go, my son, in peace. And Yitzchak sent Yaakov away, and he went to Aram Naharaim, to Lavan, the son of Bethuel, the Arami, the brother of Rivkah, Yaakov's mother. And it came to pass, after Yaakov had arisen to go to Aram Naharaim, that the ruach of Rivkah was grieved after her son, and she wept. And Yitzchak said to Rivkah, my sister, weep not on account of Yaakov my son, for he goes in peace, and in peace he will return. El Elyon will guard him from all evil, and will be with him, for he will not forsake him all his days. For I know that his ways will be prospered in all things, wherever he goes, until he return in peace to us, and we see him in peace. Fear not on his account, my sister, for he is on the upright path, and he is a perfect man, and he is faithful and will not perish. Weep not. And Yitzchak comforted Rivkah on account of her son Yaakov, and blessed him. And Yaakov went from the well of the oath to go to Haran on the first year, the second week, in the 44th Jubilee. And he came to Luz on the mountains, that is Beit El, on the new moon of the first month of this week. And he came to the place at evening and turned from the way to the west of the road that night. And he slept there, for the sun had set. And he took one of the stones of that place and laid under the tree. And he was journeying alone, and he slept. And he dreamt that night, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of Yahweh ascended and descended on it. And behold, Yahweh stood upon it. And he spoke to Yaakov and said, I am Yahweh Elohim of Abraham, your father, and the Elohim of Yitzchak, the land whereon you are sleeping, to you will I give it, and to your seed after you. And your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall increase to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south, and in you and in your seed shall all the families of all the nations be blessed. And behold, I will be with you, and will guard you whithersoever you go, and I will bring you again into this land in peace, for I will not leave you until I do everything that I told you of. And Yaakov awoke from his sleep and said, Truly this place is the house of Yahweh, and I knew it not. And he was afraid and said, Dreadful is this place, which is none other than the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of heaven. And Yaakov arose early in the morning, and took the stone which he had put under his head, and set it up as a pillar for a sign. And he poured oil upon it on the top of it, and he called the name of that place Beit El. But the name of the place was Luz at the first. And Yaakov vowed a vow unto Yahweh, saying, If Yahweh will be with me, and will guard me in this way that I go, and give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall Yahweh be my Elohim, and this stone, which I have set up as a pillar for a sign in this place, shall be Yahweh's house. And of all that you give me, I shall give the 10th to you, my Elohim.